back at Hooton Park for the first leg of the TDI Media IndyCar coverage in 2024. If you missed us last season, you'll have missed an epic final round which featured an incredible Junior Rotax final, where the championship was on the line between two drivers in one of the most incredible races ever witnessed. Holden's got the lead into turn one, so Tom Holden's got the lead and he's got the championship in his pocket as things stand. Carling's got closer, here comes Ollier, had the lead temporarily, that's the second lead change, third lead change as Holden goes back past, and here comes Carling up the inside, here's Ollier back for the lead, that's the fourth lead change in as many corners, and Holden gets it back through the kink down to the double apex, and Ollier up the inside. Did he get the lead there? Don't think he did. A little bit of contact with Holden, but no damage done. They're still running. He needs Carling to come second. Holden finishes third. Holden loses the championship by a point, and we've got another lead change. That's 6 lead changes so far. Make it 7 as Holden gets Ollier on the switchback. Frustrating conditions up the inside though, taking a narrow line. Is Ollier one more time and gets the lead back, but for how long? Not very is the answer, because 9 lead changes now. It's incredible. Through the line one more time. Ollier will look up the inside and he'll go for it and takes the lead. That's 10 lead changes, making 11 as Holden gets him on the switchback yet again. He's thinking what is going on, he goes for it. He's got the lead but not for long. Make that 12 and then 13 lead changes as Holden holds onto it round the outside. James Ollier just 2 laps and change to go. Ollier round the outside as he held onto it. Oh, a little bit of a slide, goes over the grass. Now, will he have to give that place back? I suspect he runs wide anyway. In fact, he looks like he does give that place back. Lead changes now 15 in total, but he's too far behind to win back the championship. Carling's right on the back of Holden. Holden up the inside, gets the lead back, but for how long? Around the outside comes James Ollier. Is this 18 lead changes? It is 18 lead changes in this one. It's absolutely unbelievable. Into the last lap, but Carling looking up the inside. If he gets past, he wins James Ollier the championship. He's got to go for it in the hairpin. If he's going for it, he's going to go for it now. Up in the hairpin, is Carling going for it? No, Holden's taken a narrow line, but that could compromise his exit speed. Ollier, it's been all Ollier all day. He wins the battle, but it's Tom Holden that wins the war. He wins the championship. George Daniels with the fastest lap in 4th place. James Ollier won on the day, but Tom Holden's 2nd place, enough to give him the championship by just 1 point in the end. Earlier, I spoke to James Ollier about that epic last round. What a fantastic battle that was for the championship. You just got hit there by Tom in the end for points. But what were your thoughts thinking back on that?
Yeah, it was brilliant. We gave everything, tried everything, did everything we possibly could to come home with the win. But Tom was just that 1 step ahead. He managed the race perfectly. We tried to back him up into Catlin, but he defended well and did everything perfectly from what he needed to do.
And this year, round 3, I think you're already the championship leader this season, but in seniors you've stepped up to the senior class. How are you finding that? What's the differences between senior and junior, do you think?
Yeah, well, we don't have many test days on it. We're sort of still trying to get to grips with the chassis and how to, not the chassis, the engine, and how to set it up. It's a lot different to the junior in how you need to drive it, I've found, to get the most out of the power valve, out of the corners, and yeah, so we needed to go up into seniors because we were too heavy for juniors.
Okay, and you're how old now?
I'm 15.
Okay, and what are you expecting from this weekend? What will be a good result for you this weekend? I guess hold on to the championship lead, but in terms of a result for the final later on today, what are you thinking?
Obviously it'd be brilliant to win it, but there's obviously some really big competition. Robbie Rathbone's here in the next door. Jack Hayes-Roberts is also here. He'll give us a run for our money like he did last month. And also as well, down to about 5th, anyone could really have it. So obviously a win would be nice, but looking for a top 3 at least.
Well, he may be looking for a top 3, but he's certainly not in the top 3 in the grid positions. As you'll see here, Jack Hayes-Roberts has pole from Curtis Harding. They're sharing the front row. Robbie Rathbone, last year's champion, goes off row 2. Still no James Ollier, and we're down to 20 places. You'll see on the last screen, he's there in 23rd. He had a mechanical failure on lap 1 of qualifying. He's going to have to start at the back of the field, and it's going to need an immense effort if he's going to move forward from there in the 2 heats and the final. It's raining, they're all on slicks, and that looks like, oh, we've got carnage. The poleman's off. That's Jack Hayes-Roberts. He's going to keep going. The last year's champions off as well. Robbie Rathbone there on the 8 car, just pushing it off the grass, trying to get it back onto the tarmac. We've lost more than half the field in turn 1. Absolutely incredible. It's starting to drizzle. They're all on slicks. You've got somebody on the grass. Somebody's clipped the curb. That should be a penalty. You've got somebody sideways. And look at the rain. It's unbelievable. Suddenly torrential rain here on lap 1. And James Ollier started P23. He's now 8th. Incredible. Now, has anybody taken a chance on wet tyres? If they have, they could fill their boots here as they come through the S's. They all look like they're on slicks to me. It is absolutely chucking it down. Unbelievable. Luke Davis on the 54 started P13. He's now P4. Who else we got? George Bell started P6. He's still P6, unbelievably. He's not made up any places at all, but he is still running. Jack Hayes-Roberts, he was off in turn 1, the pole man, he's recovered to P8. Now that's a great effort, no doubt, and he's actually ahead of looks like the 55 car. There, he's going through the picture there, James Ollier. So he's ahead of Ollier despite being off on the grass in turn 1 at the start. And here he comes down the inside looking for more places, and he is heading towards 3rd place. I think that's 3rd place for, it is. Jack Hayes-Roberts back up to 3rd after being off in turn 1 on the grass. He had a slow restart as well. What an incredible effort this is as the field streams through. Samuel Kelbritt on the 72, he's out of the race unfortunately, so he's at the back of the field. But what an effort here by Jack Hayes-Roberts. There he is in 3rd place. James Ollier's gone through in 7th. I'm a bit surprised he's not further forward after being 8th on that opening tour. Jack Hayes-Roberts is up to 2nd, by the way. He's being hounded there by the man in 3rd place. That's Mackenzie Stevens, but he's held on to it. So 2nd is now Jack Hayes-Roberts. Mackenzie Stevens there in 3rd place. Zach Bowker went through the line in 4th. Adam Cerner in 5th. Luke Davis now in 6th place. And then James Ollier still in 7th. I'm a bit surprised Ollier isn't further forward, to be honest. That looks like Luke Davis making a move back into 5th place on the 103 of Adam Cerner. There is Davis, Cerner in behind, then Ollier, Stott, Bennock and Jack Stevenson look like they're in that mix. The wind is gusting 40, 50 mile an hour, and that is playing havoc with some of the cameras. Apologise for that. Cerner ahead of Luke Davis, but not for long. Davis up the inside, but then slides wide, and Cerner gets him back on the switchback. This is the battle for 5th, but here comes Davis again. Can't quite get it done on the 54. In behind is Ollier chasing, so 5th, 6th and 7th in the shot there, coming through the hairpin at the top of the circuit, turn 3. Michael Adamczyk, by the way, we've not really seen him yet, but Michael Adamczyk is the race leader on the 17th Cup. He's coming under pressure now from Jack Hayes-Roberts. There it is, that's the battle for the race lead. Through the S's, that's Zach Bowker there in 3rd place. Mackenzie Stevens now drops down to 4th. We're looking at the battle for 2nd. In 5th place should be Adam Cerner. It is on the 103. Does he go through the line one more time down the straight? This is the battle for the lead. So it's still a Adamczyk from Jack Hayes-Roberts. But for how long? Mackenzie Stevens runs wide and allows Adam Cerner up the inside. So Adam Cerner now into 4th. Mackenzie Stevens is 5th. The 8-10 kart just going through the picture was Jack Pearson. Robbie Rathbone was behind him. Rathbone just set the fastest lap. In purple on the left of your screen, 47.413. He's 2 seconds quicker than the race leader on your screen. This is a battle for 6, and there's been a problem out front for Jack Hayes-Roberts. Jack Hayes-Roberts, he was half a second behind. He's not anymore. I think he's going to be down to 3rd or 4th place when they go across the line. Jack Hayes-Roberts has lost, 5 seconds, I think. There he is. So going through, that is Zach Bowker now 2nd, Adam Cerner 3rd, Jack Hayes-Roberts there in 4th place. He's had a problem in the double apex, just out of shot of the cameras. So that is the man challenging for the lead, as was the man from pole, off on the grass. But what an effort this is by Jack Hayes-Roberts, but there's been some incident out of shot of the cameras. They go three abreast through the kink. Jack Hayes-Roberts round the outside. Is he going to make that work? Oh, incredible driving by Jack Hayes-Roberts. Incredible. And he is back into second. Look at the pace he's got. It's incredible compared to everybody else. Curtis Harding on that last lap temporarily had the fastest lap, but that's now Adamczyk. He's in the 43s. Although look at Jack Hayes-Roberts, 40.9. He's more than 2.5 seconds quicker than the race leader, and at this rate he will catch him before the end. So 4.2 seconds behind when he went through the lap there at the end of that last lap. Let's see what the gap is next time. That's James Ollier we're looking at on the 55. He's now up to 6th place, the 74 in behind him is Troy Spencer. Troy's had to start at the back of the field as well. I think it was starting P21 if I remember rightly. So this is a good effort by Troy Spencer as well. Although, as I say early on, if you were with us for the start, if you weren't with us for the start, you might want to rewind this and have a look, because we lost more than half the field in turn one. Zach Bowker there on the 41 locked it up. Adam Snr tried to take advantage, and he has taken advantage. Adam Snr now is through to 3rd place. Zach Bowker on the 41 down to 4th. Mackenzie Stevens is 5th. Then comes Ollier Spencer. Luke Davis up to 9th, and Jacob Stott rounding out the top 10 as things stand. This is one of the biggest fields we've seen in the Senior Rotax category in the last year or so. And it is delivering immense action all the way through the field. You can see the battles. You want to come out on top of your little battles wherever you are. And talking about battles, this is a battle for the lead. And Jack Hayes-Roberts is into the lead. The 17 car of Michael Adamczyk there in 2nd place. But Jack Hayes-Roberts set fastest lap after fastest lap. Although Robbie Rathbone's now the fastest man on the track. He's got a 36.521. So Rathbone, there he is on the 8 kart, just going through the hairpin. He'll pick off those karts in front of him, no doubt. But Jack Hayes-Roberts, 36.717. Adamczyk was on a 38.3. And within a couple of laps, Jack Hayes-Roberts has hunted down the leader and taken him. And we're into the last lap. What a race this has been. Heat 1 in Senior Rotax. First part of the TDI Media Tour event this year at Hooton Park. The karts come through the line. That's Stevenson, Farley, Stott, Rathbone there in 13th place from George Bell and Lucas Miles. Meanwhile, Jack Hayes-Roberts has got to dispose of the back marker. He does that very quickly. That's Sam Kelbrook recovering after his earlier incident. So it is Jack Hayes-Roberts through the final turn. There he is on the 80 car. What a recovery drive for Jack Hayes-Roberts. Checkered flag for the 80 car. In 2nd place, it's Michael Adamczyk. He'll be a bit disappointed, I think. Adam Snr has just held on from Zach Bowker, who set the fastest lap temporarily on that last lap. And then it was James Ollier, 35.780. He's the fastest man on the track in the end. But what a drive by Jack Hayes-Roberts on the 80. He wins it from Adamczyk, Snr, Bowker in 4th. Mackenzie Stevens holds on to 5th from Ollier, Davis, Spencer, Bennock and Stevenson. Ollier made up 17 places in the end. Heat 2 is coming up after this short break. Do not go away. Welcome back to Hooton Park, Heat 2 for the Senior Rotax class. The grid positions on screen are based on the finishing positions after the first heat we've just had a look at before the break. So James Ollier there up to 6. Jack Hayes-Roberts, how has he held on to pole? He was on pole at the start of Heat 1, put it off on the grass. He was well down the field, got back to 8th by the end of that first lap, and then ended up chasing down the leader, then dropped back 5 seconds after an incident, and then got it back in the end. Incredible. Run away for Heat 2. We're going to see the same sort of action. The track has dried out, and we don't see anybody off through turn 1. That is Robbie Rathbone pictured there on the 8 car. He's trying to recover. Robbie Rathbone went through the line there in 13th place. Let's see what he can do from there. Should have started P12, but went through the line slightly behind. Jack Hayes-Roberts pictured, that's your race leader. And if he won the first race, now don't forget the first race, the conditions were changing all the way through. We've got a spinner. That's 54, Luke Davis. And the 8 car is Robbie Rathbone. Rathbone's involved. Kelbrick is involved, the 72, and the 810 is Jack Pearson. All 4 drivers involved in that one. That is Robbie Rathbone. last year's champion, and another impact on his race. In this one, he's going to drop well down the field. He went through the line in, what was it, 21st place. He's got it all to do from there, but he's not the champion for no reason. He's extremely quick round here at Hooton Park. Let's see what he can do from there. The race leader, Jack Hayes-Roberts, was pretty much not pretty much, he was 2 seconds quicker than a jam chick in second. And then Snr went through the line in third from Bowker, Stevens, James Ollier. Troy Spencer came next, and then was Jack Stevenson. Oh, contact in turn one, and that's James Ollier into the back of Mackenzie Stevens. Collision through turn one, and Stevens is now going to be well down the field. We'll get another look at it in slow motion. It was Ollier down the inside, Mackenzie Stevens there on the outside of him, and he's putting 2 wheels on the curb and contact with Mackenzie Stevens on the 19 car. He's up on the grass, he's going to be well down the field. And I think even James Ollier will probably think to himself, a little bit ambitious there. This is the battle for third place between Snr and Bowker. They go through third and fourth. And then it's Troy Spencer now up to fifth. Ollier's down to sixth. And then Jack Stevenson, Morris, Harding and Bell. Curtis Harding, by the way, this is a good comeback drive for Curtis Harding. He had a bit of a disaster in heat one. I think he was on the front row, wasn't he, in that first heat, ended up down the back of the field, but he's coming back now. He's into the top 10 in 9th place, Curtis Harding. He's got a lot of quality, we know that. Let's see what he can do from there. There's Troy Spencer on the 74, starting P8. He's now P5. So again, I think he was 21st in that first heat. Of course, a lot of the drivers made up a lot of places, probably a dozen, 13, 14 cheap places on the opening tour when half the field off in turn one. If you've recorded this programme and only just joined us, you might want to rewind it and watch the start of the show, because the first heat, we lost literally half the field in turn one. That's a great move. Zach Bowker doing what you have to do on the back marker. Jake Stavely has had a problem with his car. Clearly he's at the back of the field, 21st place. James Ollier went through as well. When you come to the back markers, you have to get past them quickly. They can impact your race, there's no doubt about it. That is the 41 card of Bowker in fourth, Ollier's fifth. This is a battle for sixth. Troy Spencer is at the head of that battle. You can pick the drivers out on the left of your screen. They went through the line astern, but it looks like, well, the 45 up the inside for a look on Spencer, but it was only window shopping, nothing more at this stage, not actually at the sales. Spencer under pressure though. Jack Stevenson it is on the 45 car as they come through the S's one more time. This is the battle for third place now. Adam Cerner's been closed down. Ollier down the inside of Bowker. Is he going to make that work? I think he might do. He does this time and makes it cleanly. So third place is Cerner. He's earned himself 5 or 6 kart lengths. Additional space, but not for long, as Ollier closes him down into the hairpin. Back now on the return straight through this little kink, the left-hander, into the double apex. This is that battle for 6 again. And that looks like the 45 Stevenson has made his way past. He has, so Stevenson now ahead of Troy Spencer in this battle for 6th to 9th. Through the S's, through Stanlow Bend. Jack Stevenson it is that's made his way up to 6th place. He's got in behind him now, Troy Spencer. Then comes Morris, Harding, Bell, Horan, Bennock, Farley. Robbie Rathbone's up to 14th place. He was down in 21st early on, of course, but he will not be happy with that. That's going to impact his grid position for the final. The 55, James Ollier, comes towards us. He went through the line in 4th. He's up to 3rd now. Adam Cerner now down to 4th. And in behind Cerner is Zach Bowker. He's coming under pressure, but Ollier getting away from the pair of them. He's gapping them no end. Jack Hayes-Roberts is the fastest man on the track with a 34.8. What does Ollier do this lap? Well, he's gone through in 35.2, so he's about half a second slower there on that lap, although probably had to do some overtaking. This is that battle for 4th place. Cerner and Bowker raging on through the hairpin one more time. Come out of the hairpin onto the return straight through the kink, the little left kink there, into this double apex classic corner here at Hooton Park. When they go through the line next time, they'll get the last lap board. This is the main battle at the front of the field for 4th place, 4th and 5th. Cerner is ahead of Zach Bowker. So Jack Hayes-Roberts has got a 7-second lead. That's the pace he's got. He's got the lead over the man on the 17 kart there in 2nd place. That's Michael Adamczyk. And then James Ollier there right in behind him now. This is the last lap squabble. Now Ollier won't do anything silly. He will not want to impact the final position that he's got. He had that contact earlier on. We'll see what the officials make of that. They come through the S's for the last time. He's not going to look up the inside here. It's a double for Jack Hayes-Roberts. He goes through the line in first place. Second is Adamczyk. Ollier's in third. Fourth place is Adam Snr, just from Zach Bowker, not much in it between them. Then Stevenson, Harding made up a place on the last lap. That's your top 10. No place in the top 10 for Robbie Rathbone, down in 21st place after that incident coming out of the double apex earlier on in the race. No doubt that will impact his grid position for the final. No doubt who's going to be on the front row though. Hayes-Roberts from Adamczyk. Here we go with the final for Senior Rotax, and guess what guys, as you're looking at the grid positions, yep, it's been raining. There's moisture still in the air. I believe they are on wet tyres, but because of the wind, it's gusting 40-50 mile an hour. You can't really tell that looking at these pictures, but the track could dry very quickly, and if that's the case, and you have got wet tyres on, you don't want a lot of pressure in your tyres, that's for sure. Here we go then. On the inside line, it's Jack Hayes-Roberts. Adam Snr has gone through his second. He was on the inside line. He's taken advantage of his position. Going off P3, Zach Bowker's on the grass. Turn round, it's Troy Spencer. Here comes John Dove. Oh, and hits Spencer in the helmet. John was unsighted there, I think, as he was trying to get a position coming around traffic. We'll have another look. You can see the 74. He's getting turned around. He's in amongst it and gets turned around. That's Robbie Rathbone into the back of him. He manages to carry on. That's no fault of Robbie, by the way. He had nowhere to go. And here comes John Dove, and look at that. Troy Spencer gets a faceful of John Dove's front nose cone. And while we're looking at this slow motion replay, by the way, there's some shenanigans out front. And Jack Hayes-Roberts, who was the poleman, he's going to go through the line here in what looks like 13th or 14th place, and James Ollier's got the lead with Robbie Rathbone now in second place. What an incredible turnaround. You're looking at the 80 car, you can just make him out there going around the outside of Sam Kelbrick. That is Jack Hayes-Roberts, but he's down, well, he's back up to 12th now. But although he's got an obscene amount of pace, he does not want to be chasing down the likes of James Ollier, who's out front with Robbie Rathbone in behind him. They're the track specialists, so Ollier from Rathbone, then Snr, Stevens up to fourth, Adamczyk, Stevenson, Horan, Harding, Farley, and then Jack Hayes-Roberts now in the top 10. You're looking at the battle for sixth place. It's Jack Stevenson, but Jake Horan down the inside. Horan goes sixth, then Stevenson. Harding, Farley and Roberts round out the top 10. Robbie Rathbone set the fastest lap on the last tour, so it's going to be between Ollier and Rathbone. 0.3 is the gap out front. We're not seeing them at the moment. We're looking at this midfield battle, and what a battle it is. And Jack Hayes-Roberts on the 80 car, big lock up into 9th place on that tour, but I think he's too far behind to do anything about the leaders. They're too far out in front and too quick. Welcome back to Hooton Park. You can see on screen Troy Spencer has crashed in the Wilson S's. We're in the Wilson S's and somebody's sliding wide there, and that is the man in third place. That was Adam Snr, and he's managed to hold on to it just. Snr was 1.4 behind at the end of the last lap. I think of about must be a second worse off. Yeah, he is 2.5 behind now with Mackenzie Stevens there in fourth place. Horan, Adamczyk, Hayes-Roberts now up to 7th. Harding, Kelbrick. He's doing well, Kelbrick, after earlier problems in the heats, and Callum Farley currently rounding out the top 10, and then Robbie Rathbone's in the lead. We never saw where he made the move, but Rathbone it is that leads it then from Ollier. Snr third for Stevens, and then we've got this battle for 5th place, and that is now Jack Hayes-Roberts. He was 7th, he's up to 5th. So Jack Hayes-Roberts, what can he do from there? That's Mackenzie Stevens, Jack Hayes-Roberts. He's being chased by Jake Horan, and all of a sudden, as we see Troy Spencer just bending down in front of the camera, he looks like he's given up the ghost today. And we've got down in 9th place is the man who finished second in both the heats earlier. That's Michael Adamczyk, just gone through the line now. Jack Hayes-Roberts has got the fastest lap, 44.838. He's half a second quicker than the leaders out front, but he's not got enough laps left as Rathbone runs wide. Ollier down the inside through the kink. Ollier's got it back. So Ollier back into the lead. Ollier and Rathbone, these two absolute out-and-out specialists here at Hooton Park as they come through the S's. Chasing them, they've got Adam Snr, then Mackenzie Stevens, Jack Hayes-Roberts there in 5th place. 44.8 last time. Let's see what he does this time. Through the S's, you just make out the Tony Kart there, Michael Adamczyk. James Ollier set the fastest lap. Adamczyk is down to, well, he was 9th, he's up to 8th place, I believe, now as they go through the line. There he is on the 17. But James Ollier now stretching his leg. All of a sudden, just in a couple of turns, he's got 8 to 10 kart lengths over Robbie Rathbone, and you can tell he's got the lower tyre pressures of these two. It's the man out front because the track is drying, and you do not want a lot of pressure in your tyres when the track is drying out. We've just seen Curtis Harding there. He qualified P2 early in the day in qualifying. Started P2 in the first race, was caught up in that incident on that in the first heat on the first turn, and unfortunately Curtis Harding's day is over. He's had a mechanical failure. Qualified P2, but it's been miserable since then. Hayes-Roberts sets the fastest lap. Going through the line there, Sam Kelbrick on the 72 car after his early problems in the heats. Started this final from 23rd. He was up to 6th, and he's just lost that place there to Stevens. The 65 in behind looking to make a move as well is Jake Horan as the three of them come through the hairpin side by side. Kelbrick fighting back, but Stevens has got the inside line. Will he hold on to it? No, Kelbrick has got it. Or has he? No. Stevens holds on. Great battle between the three. But then Kelbrick goes round the outside of Stevens. Great battling in the conditions. And this is a great performance by Sam Kelbrick after earlier problems in the day. Great battling through the field. That's the 80. And that is Jack Hayes-Roberts. Too fast into the turn. Through the puddle, on the grass, lots of water on the tyres, and that here is his day over, and that is the 54, Luke Davis. He's had a mechanical failure there on the back straight, so Davis is out. He showed much early promise in the heats, Luke Davis, but it's not to be come the final. You could say the same about the 41 kart there. Zach Bowker making a move on the 810, Jack Pearson, that's for 14th place. Bowker is much quicker than that, so he's had all sorts of problems in this final also. That's the leader, 55. Then comes Rathbone, he's 3.2 seconds back now. So Ollier's got this one, he has to chuck it off or have another mechanical failure to lose it from there. We're looking at 19 there. That was Mackenzie Stevens. That's Sam Kelbrick. What a great effort by Sam Kelbrick after early problems in the heats. Great effort to finish. Well, let's hope he finishes 5th anyway. Looks like he is going to. You see the kart at the side of the track there, the 54, Luke Davis, he's left that abandoned. Should be yellow flags waving, so no overtaking, but you can overtake past that. In fact, Davis is there, he's pulling it out of the way. That is Mackenzie Stevens with the 65. Jake Horan, Horan runs wide, a little bit of a nudge between them, and that's cost him, and he is furious. Horan looking for a top 6 finish, and he's going to be lucky to hold on to a top 10 now. Looks like a top 10 for him. To go through the line one more time, 3.7 seconds is the lead, half a second quicker is James Ollier than Robbie Rathbone effectively, and he's just eking out a bigger and bigger lead. That's Stevens on the 19, in behind him now he has Max Lorna Bennock. That's one of the first times I think I've mentioned his name all day. Battling just outside the top 10, top dozen in fact. That was the 77 of Jake Staveley who lost a place on that lap to Jack Pearson on the 810. This is that battle for 13th, and making a move is the 37, Jacob Stott. He's on the inside there, Josh Morris. What a miserable day for Morris on the 88 car. He's not had a good day at all, has he? Jake Staveley on the 77, jumping up and down in the seat, trying to hold on to this position that he's got. Wants to come out on top of this little battle in the midfield. He may not be at the front, but you always want to come out on top of your little battles. Talking of coming out on top of your little battles, he's just lost the place to Morris. This is the penultimate lap through Stanlow. For the penultimate time, they get the last lap board as they go through the line. It is James Ollier has a 5-second lead now, more than 5 seconds. Jack Hayes-Roberts now is up to 3rd place, but he's 10 seconds behind the leader, and just behind him is Adam Snr, still battling for that top 3. That's the race leader. James Ollier, wait for him to come out onto the back straight. There he is, coming up to the hairpin for the final time as the rest of the karts go through the line, getting the last lap board. That was Kelbrick, Stevens, Bennett, Adamczyk now in 8th place, and Jake Horan rounding up the top 9. Callum Farley's just gone through in 10th place, but that's your race leader. James Ollier started 23rd of the 23 drivers in Heat 1 after failing to finish a lap in qualifying. He had to start last, finished 6th in Heat 1, went from 6th to 3rd in Heat 2. He started P5 here for the final, but he takes the win. Is he happy? Wow, that is some celebration for James Ollier. Well happy. Robbie Rathbone will be happy with his comeback drive too. In 2nd place, keeps himself in championship contention, and it's Adam Cerner that pips Jack Hayes-Roberts on the line for 3rd place. Sam Kelbrick 23rd to 5th for the driver of the day. Then came Stevens and Bennett. Michael Adamczyk, disappointed he will be with 8th. And Jake Horan comes next. Rounding out the top 10 was Callum Farley, that's a 97. Ewan McQueen, he's broken down in the final turn. That's the 21 of John Dove, who was involved in that incident earlier. Plenty of drama in the earlier heats for the Senior Rotax. A little bit comfortable for James Ollier in the end. Top 10 look like this. I'm seeing that Robbie Rathbone got a 5-second penalty after the race for a front fairing. I didn't think they did front fairing penalties in this championship. Next race up is for the youngest drivers here at Hooton Park this weekend. It's the Micromax class drivers from around about 9 or 10 years of age. Ryan Wheatley on pole from Dax Farah. Spencer, Sharples, McCormick and Hatton round out the small 6 kart grids. They come into turn 1 for the first time, and we've got carnage. Oh my goodness, we've lost half the field. It's only 6 in it and 3 of them off in turn 1. That's Will Hatton recovering in the orange suit, and have another look coming into the turn. A little bit ambitious from Will Hatton. That's too much speed, too narrow a line. Spins it, collects Will Spencer, and then spinning out in sympathy is Hector McCormick on the 20. So they will carry on, but as you can see, well back. That is Will Spencer picked out on the 1 kart. Started P3 and now in P4 overall. So we were hoping for a bit of a battle here. Hopefully we'll still get something. It is Ryan Wheatley at the end of the first lap who has the lead. Going through in 2nd place, that's Dax Farah there in 3rd. Josh Sharples there in 2nd. Dax Farah chasing down Josh Sharples. So that could be the battle on the track that we'll be looking at. 50.9 for Wheatley. Wheatley, there he is on the 11 kart. He has been in a different postcode from everybody else this weekend. In the earlier heats, he's been a comfortable winner, and it looks like being the same again. But who's going to come second? Sharp was there in 2nd. Dax Farah picked out on the 3 kart. I think it might be number 3, because I'm pretty sure my brain is playing tricks on me. There's so many Farahs. I think it was Dax Farah that's been racing here since he was 3. And you might think, as I've said before, well, that seems a bit young to be racing, but he wasn't coming last, I can tell you. That's the sort of quality he has, and he's got so much quality. Getting cheered on there, I think, by his dad, telling him to get his head in the game, because believe me, he's got so much quality. Dax Farah, he could close this gap here. He's got a good, 20 kart lengths to play with. He's about 1.2 seconds behind as they went through the line. The lead for Wheatley was 5.8. That will just get bigger and bigger as the race goes on. Unless it starts raining, that could make it very interesting indeed. It looks like they've got wet tyres on to me. Just looking at that picture there, can't quite tell, but it has still been drizzling, so it's possible they've got wet tyres on. And if you've got wet tyres on and the track is drying, you probably want as low a tyre pressure as you can think you would get away with. And I know when we were racing in Minimax years and years ago, we would have as low as £5 on a hot day. That was using slicks, but even using wets here, you'd want as low a tyre pressure as you can get away with. And here comes Farah down the inside, a little bit of contact between them. Sharples doesn't like it, puts his hand in the air, but I don't think Dax did anything wrong there, just slid wide. Little bit of contact, no damage done, they're still running. This is the battle on the track. The winner is Ryan Wheatley. I'm calling him the winner now because 7.9 seconds, he pretty much has to chuck it off or have a mechanical breakdown. Into the double apex one more time. Sharple's looking for a way past up the inside, narrow line, and he spins out, takes Dax Farah off, puts him on the grass. But I tell you what, they both carried on. That is unbelievable. You can see he's got a narrower line, just goes in too quick, spins out, hits Dax Farah, Farah on the grass, he carries on, and Sharples carries on. That is lucky to say the least. You rejoin us here at Hooton Park, and Sharples is back in front after that earlier incident. And one thing I should mention, Dax Farah has been racing a long time, since a very young age. You will notice when he got backed into, pushed on the grass. Now earlier when he slid into Josh put his hand in the air remonstrating. Dax did no such thing. He just literally got on with it, and that's the sign of a more experienced driver. Dax Farah been racing a long time, still very young of course, but he knows if an incident happens and you get impacted, you just got to get on with it. No point in putting your hands in the air and trying to appeal to officials that may or may not have seen it. If they see it, they take action. If they haven't seen it, they can't. So there's no point in remonstrating. Just get on with your race, and that's what he's done. Up to the hairpin one more time. Dax looking for a way past. He looks like the quicker driver on the track in the conditions, but we'll have to see. Wheatley well out front, 21 seconds is the lead. 21.3 back to Sharples, 21.5 back to Dax Farah, and Dax having another look but can't quite get it done, and that's cost him track position. Look at that, it's cost him 4 or 5 kart lengths just having a go. We've not seen really very much at all, if anything, of Ryan Wheatley, certainly since the start anyway. He's got a 22-second lead, give or take. That's Sharples in second going through, Dax Farah in behind. Will Spencer in the background there is, he's about 5.2 seconds behind. He's actually quicker than the two in front. He's in the 52s. Sharple's done a 52.7 fastest lap, Farah 53.1 fastest lap, but Farah's still there, no doubt. Will Spencer quicker than the pair of them, but he's just too far behind after that early incident. There is the race leader, first look at him for, well, pretty much since the start, frankly. This is the battle on the track though. 22 is Sharples, 3 is Farah. You've got the one car of Will Spencer. Now in front here, interestingly, you've got Will Hutton and Hector McCormick. Now they're about to come under pressure, less experienced than these drivers of course, plus they had the incident on the first lap. But it's how you deal with traffic that wins you races or wins you trophies. And we've got 2 back markers right in front of the battle for second place. So Sharples on the 22, 3 is Farah, 20 there is Hector McCormick, he's running in 6th place. Here comes Sharples up the inside. Farah's going to go narrow. Has he got it? He's got to hold him on the outside. He's going to get him on the switchback. Is he Sharples? No, Sharples will be blocked by the back marker. Dax Farah's got the right line here. He's down the inside, a little bit of contact between them. Ryan Wheatley's taken the win on the inset pictures. Sharples up the inside, contact again with Dax Farah, and this time Farah has got his arm in the air. Last lap, wants to make sure the officials have seen it if anything happens. Into the final turn at Stanlow Bend for the last time. It's going to be Farah in second. It's not going to be Sharples third because Will Spencer is not that far behind, and there he is. He's just gone through. Will Spencer is going to steal third place. Somebody call the FBI because Will Spencer has just picked the pocket of Josh Sharples. Unbelievable end to the race. It just goes to show only 6 in it, and 3 of them were off in turn 1, don't forget. But what a great race that was, full of incident, particularly on the last lap. Wheatley from Farah, Spencer rounding out the podium. Just time in this programme to bring you the highlights from the Rotax 177 class. Grid positions on your screen now. Stuart Dixon going off pole. He's pretty much been a dominant force all day. Bit of a surprise to me to see Tommy Austin down there in 10th place. He usually dominates this class, not today. Somebody's clipped the cone. That should be a penalty if the officials spotted the number. But if they haven't, then they can't do anything about it. That's a move for 4th place. That's the 45 of Roger Moore. Moore started P8, so he's already made up what looks like 4 places there. 75 was Tom Owens. Stuart Dixon it is that leads it then from Martin Ingham here in second place on the 83 kart. 91 was Alex Merzian going through the picture, so these 3 now already getting clear of the driver in 4th place. So Dixon pretty much had it all his own way this weekend so far. Will he have it all his own way in this final? It's usually very competitive, and these guys, by the way, like to get their elbows out. Talking about getting your elbows out, that is the aforementioned Tommy Austin, trying to go from 6th to 5th. I don't think he quite made that work, but Tommy is very quick around here at Hooton Park. Used to work here, of course. Now very proudly works at Aldi. I think he's still working there anyway. Should be, with the amount of mentions I give them on TV. Other supermarkets are available. Just not as good. With the Wilson S's, Dixon, Ingham and Merzian. Now comes the battle for 4, 5 and 6 in 6th place. That was Tommy Austin. Don't think he's going to be there for long, and Dixon looks like he's starting to get away already. Here comes the battle for 4th. It's Roger Moore in 4th from Tom Owens. Tommy Austin, then Kian Pedlow, Aaron Knight, fastest lap for Stuart Dixon, race leader. Mike Bolton and Tim Spencer rounding out the field the way things stand currently. This is a class for older drivers, drivers who might be a little bit heavier than their 18-year-old counterparts. Not a class where necessarily you need to be counting calories all the time. The Rotax 177 class, the 177 denotes the minimum weight of the kart with the driver and the helmet, so 177 kilos you have to be as a minimum. Martin Ingham there sets the fastest lap, 2nd place. Here comes Tommy Austin down the inside for 4th, and the battle for 4th is raging, with Austin now out front of that battle. That's the 75, Tom Owens up the inside. He makes a place back. Does he hold on to it though? Looks like he does. He does indeed. So Owens up to 5th place. That's Roger Moore there in the black suit. He's in 6th. So this is the battle 4, 5 and 6 we're looking at the moment. But the battle out front is raging. Tommy Austin here in 4th place. He's won races here in this class by pretty much, well, 10 or 15 seconds I think in the past, but he's not going to be doing that today. He's come through the line one more time. He's chasing down those in front and trying to get there. I'm not sure he'll have enough time. Martin Ingham now 0.4 behind the leader. Alex Merzian 1.2 just dropping off the back of them. This is that battle for the lead. Merzian pictured in P3, but out front Stuart Dixon. He's been comfortable all day, but Martin Ingham is now the fastest man on the track, and it's now dry, the track. There's no chance, I don't think there's any chance of drizzle now. I think this is going to be the way it's going to finish in terms of the weather conditions, but how's it going to finish on track? Still laps to go. Tommy Austin running P4 now with the fastest lap, 36.7 as opposed to 36.8 of Dixon, so I think he's too far behind. He needs to be a second a lap quicker, and he's not a second a lap quicker than the race leader currently. Out of the double apex, up the return straight into the Wilson S's. That leads you out onto Stanlow Bend, the final turn on the track. It's quite tight in the first part of it, but it's not a classic double apex, and it's not really a hairpin either, but it is a good overtaking opportunity as the rest of the karts stream through the S's. So Dixon sliding on his tyres. Has he got the optimum setup on this car? Looks like Ingham, who was the fastest man on the track, now isn't the fastest man on the track. It's now Tommy Austin again. He's now 3/10 quicker, but again 5 seconds back of this lead battle. He's not close enough to make an impact today, but he'll come back and be back, no doubt, for our next visit here for the TDI Media Tour, which is in July, I think it is, for the Grosvenor Cup. This is a great battle for the win here between Dixon and Ingham. Ingham looking like he fancies the job, doesn't he? In behind, and you see Dixon there, goes through that right-hander, and he's always sliding. That suggests his tyres are going off to me. Here comes Ingham up the inside into the hairpin, and Martin Ingham takes the lead. They go side by side through the kick, do they? No. Ingham, the new race leader, in through the double apex, up the return straight. Has he done enough? Still a few laps to go. So it's Ingham that leads it through the S's. Dixon looking up the inside, contact, and Ingham runs wide. Forced out onto the grass through the puddle, and that's lost him 1 place and lost him 2 places. So Ingham will no longer be a contender here. What will the officials make of that? We'll have a look. This is the replay through the S's. Dixon coming straight up the inside, looking for it. Front wheel to front wheel contact. Runs Martin Ingham off the track, through the puddle on the grass, and that is his day done. He is not going to win it from there now. Tommy Austin, though, is in a trophy position as things stand. And look at this, Merzian getting much closer to Stuart Dixon as well now. So Merzian was something like 2 seconds behind. He's not 2 seconds behind anymore as they go through the line with a few laps still remaining. Now, what can Merzian do from here? This is quite interesting. It's pretty much been a two-driver squabble all race long, but it was Dixon and Ingham. And then after that incident through the final turn at Stanlow, it's now become Dixon and Merzian. There's something like, 3 laps to go, I think, when they went through the line last time. That is the man in third place, Tommy Austin there. See them coming through the S's. They're the leaders, and then you've got Austin just behind. They're the back markers, that's Tim Spencer and Mike Bolton having their own little battle. But here come the leaders, Dixon, Mersey and Austin. Austin now 2 seconds behind, and he is 0.4 of a second quicker than the race leader. But that's not close enough, I don't think, to make an impact from there. Talking about making an impact, he needs Merzian to impact the race leader. That's what he needs. If he's going to take the win, he'll pick up the pieces then, but I don't think that's going to happen. Looks like Dixon has now got enough pace to take this one. 0.4 as he went through the line last time. He'll get the last lap board. The starter's got it in his hand as he goes past. Here we go. The starter holds out the last lap sign. So Stuart Dixon, I think the back markers helped him there as well. Merzian needed the back marker to get in his way. He didn't. Tommy Austin still fancies the job here though. He's third. He may look at second. Into the last lap, still Dixon from Merzian and Austin. Martin Ingham getting closer, but he'll be disappointed with fourth place. He was the race leader, of course, before that impact up here in the final turn. Through the S's, the Wilson S's for the last time, Stanlow Bend for the last time, and the starter on the line becomes the finisher with the checkered flag in his hand. And it is Stuart Dixon that takes the win, subject to post-race scrutineering and the view of the officials about that earlier incident. It was front wheel to front wheel contact. They've deemed that that is a racing incident, and it is Stuart Dixon from Alex Merzian and Tommy Austin. Top 3, top 10 on screen. DNFs for Roger Moore and Kian Pedlow. That's all we've got time for in this programme, but join us for part 2 coming soon.